buyers, right? So I'm not doing showings today. I don't have a listing appointment today, but dang, with those 5 different listings, I got 5 inspection objections and resolutions to go through, right? So this part is very cloudy, right? What do we do here? It changes every day, right? But this, I know that's consistent. That's consistent. The one other thing that has to be consistent on all of this is this, right? I need my daily kickoff so I can do my lead generation. I need to have that positive mindset. I need to be pumped and excited about phone calls. And I have to do my lead generation. That's it. So instead of saying, I'm going to time block all of this, because I've done that, and it feels constricting. It doesn't work for who we are as agents and who we are as people. If we were these people, we wouldn't be here. We'd be at a 9 to 5 where they say, Rhonda, your lunch is at 12:30, you need to be back at 1, and this and that and this, and you have a break at 2:15, and that's when you can call your husband and your kids, and that's the only time that exists, right? That's not how our lives are. That's why we're in this business. So if we time block this, it feels like a straitjacket. But if we time block out family, because that's critical, right? Without family, it doesn't matter how much you guys succeed here. If you're failing at home, none of this matters. Time block your family time out. And then time block out this. And the rest of the day, between this line and that line, is priority management. It's, oh goodness, my email is so messed up right now. My deal with so-and-so is going so bad right now. I gotta talk to Will because I need to role play this. This is fluid except for this piece. So time block the 20%, guys. Time block that, and time block your family. And the rest is priority management. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Because I was going to teach this a very different way. And when I heard it this way, it made so much sense to me. So, for example, last week, Jenny wasn't doing any of this. Her fiance's family was in town, right? And they had a lovely time planned in Estes Park. And she had a buyer pop up. And it was a $6,600 commission or so total, something like that. Was what you were looking at? Buyer pops up, $6,600. It's a lot of money to me. I don't know about you guys. She could have said, you know, Paul, you know, that's her fiance if you guys haven't met him. Paul, you know, this is great and all up here with your family, but there's $6,600 waiting for me in Denver. Estes is only an hour and a half away. I can drive down there for an hour and a half. It'll take me 2 hours down there, so that's 4.5 or 3.5 hours. Hour and a half back. Don't worry, Paul. It'll only be 5 hours and I'll be back. We all know that 5 hours will turn into 10, right? And she's not honoring Paul by doing that, or his family that's traveled all the way here. So how does Jenny make that $6,600 and honor those people? Well, what she did is she used Jackie Schultz. She used what we call leverage. She said, hey guys, can someone help me? So Jackie went out and spent, I don't know, an hour and a half, 3 hours on this, something like that. And Jackie got paid as a showing assistant to do this. She got 10% of Jenny's commission. So out of that $6,600, Jenny's down to about $6,000. Jackie's at like $600, and the numbers are just rough, just so y'all know. But Jackie made $600 in about 3 hours. That's $200 an hour. Still a lot of money. But you know what Jenny got? She has a happy fiance. She had to spend time with her future nieces and nephews. She had a phenomenal family time up in Estes Park, and she didn't have to figure out how to drive down here and drive back and burn 5 hours, which I can tell you I've done it in my life, and it strained my marriage at times doing that. She was able to do all that and still make $6,000. So I would say, when you're finding that this time and this time, those non-negotiable times are being eaten into, let's figure out how to get you leveraged. You know, everyone here is in a different place in their lives. I've got one son, I'm married, I'm 34. Rhonda's 36 and she has 2 children. And, you know, so she's at a different place. Jenny's engaged, right? Hallie's got a dog, you know? Hey, don't make fun of dogs.
She's working on a boyfriend.
Right? But everyone's in a different place. And we're all in different places financially, socially, and everything like that. And I'll tell you guys, I've put deals under contract from 4 countries besides America. And Jackie Schultz has actually helped me from 2 countries, I think. You know, so with that in mind, and Jackie's made decent money.
We're on
off
a
of
team.
me. We're on a team, so use the team, guys. Leverage yourselves, help yourselves. You know, don't just feel like, well, I can't get it done and pull your hair out. Because, guys, last year, I generated about $250,000 in GCI. My wife was pregnant. I didn't work over 50 hours a week. And I did not have this robust team. But I did know Jackie. Did. And I went to 4 countries last year. No, 3 countries last year, and put houses under contract from 2 to 3. I only worked about 46 weeks last year.
That's awesome.
So use the leverage, and if you need help with it, it works. And do you think your client's just as happy that you weren't there?
Oh yeah, he was so impressed. It was so impressed.
I love him. He's so nice.
such a great guy. And what's crazy is that he had a similar experience where he had an agent who had a team and you know just what a game changer for him, and just to be able to. And I think that, you know, he'd get more referrals from him like that. Like he's having a great experience so far.
Yeah.
Make sure everything's good. But yeah.
It also needs a lot of work. A lot.
And I got some news for you guys. Your clients don't work with you or you or me. My client doesn't work with me. They work with the standard that I set. The professional standard that I set. That's what they work with. So as long as we all uphold a certain professional standard, it doesn't matter. We're all interchangeable. You know, it just matter who gets the bigger check, who gets the showing assistant check, who gets what check, right, is what changes. But at the end of the day, they don't work with us. They work with the standards that we set in our business and what we're willing to do and what we're able to provide. So Jenny, that client had actually been fired by somebody else because he wanted to see a house, and I think he got to see it, but the offer didn't get in. The house went under contract. He was working with an awful agent, and they were a team too, right? Mm-hmm. And they were a team, but they didn't have this ability to help each other. So with that in mind, he fired that agent when he lost that house. We shouldn't be getting fired. I have fired many clients. I've been fired, I think, once or twice, but it was more my choice than theirs. So yes, they work with your standard, not with you. Yeah. Do you guys have anything to add to this? Because I mean, I think when this hit me and I said, wait, all of this and this can be just however it needs to be, as long as the big things get done. And if you're drowning and you're like, Will, I have 5 fires, and I have a personal commitment at 5:30 today, call me. Call Robin. We may be able to help you out. Like, we're here to help. Dana might be able to help you out, but call me. Let's figure it out, because you guys, this job's not crazy. And there's some really stupid people making decent money in this business, right? Like, I am not a smart guy. I just make sure that this happens. And you guys don't always see it, because a lot of times I might be helping you guys individually during this time. But you guys don't understand, my business doesn't just happen. It happens because I do this. I really do. And I'm promising you guys, protect this. From 9 to 11:30, like, you got an offer. When do we have to look at it by and present it by? Tomorrow at 5 or something?
Tomorrow at noon.
Tomorrow at noon? We got plenty of time, right? There's no real estate emergencies that can't wait 2.5 hours. Now, if your client was blowing you up the night before and they sent you 5 emails, well, maybe you don't get to the office at 9 o'clock. Maybe guys, you start coming to the office at 8:30 if you can. Or, you know, if you have a commitment before, like, well, I got to drive my kid to school, well, maybe between 7 and 7:30, you check emails or whatever, so you can get back to that client. Just something like, hey, I saw your concern. I'm working on it. I'll be in touch later today. And when is that later today going to be? 11:31, right? So protect that time and respond with a text or a quick phone call, or while you're driving here, hey, John, I saw you were concerned about blah, blah, blah. What's going on? Great. Hey, what I'm going to do is I'm going to work on getting this resolved, and I'll call you a little bit later today. So then at 11:30, you start working on it, and by 12, you can call John, right? And maybe you say, but I've got showings at 11:30 all the way till 4. Well, what's a bigger priority right now? The fire or the showings? And if it's the fire, but the showings still need to happen, maybe say, you know what? I have to be home by 5:30 today. So with that in mind, I'm going to ask Jackie if she can show my buyer, right? Or I'm going to call Will and ask him if he can help me with this fire, and maybe think of a smarter, quicker way to do it. So you guys, use your resources, use your tools, and protect this. And more than anything else, protect your family time. We're not in an industry that our spouses understand what we do. You know, a lot of our spouses work 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, and they're like, why are you still going at 5:30? Why are you still going at 7? Right? But if we do this, and it doesn't have to be 5:30. Like, I can tell you this, tomorrow I have an appointment at 6 o'clock tomorrow night. So am I always home by 5:30? No. My goal is 4 out of 5 days a week. And you know, how many times do you have to show buyers late at night? Maybe once or twice a week, right? Not very often. So with that in mind, this is possible, guys. So what I'm going to want to see on your calendars, I'm going to ask you to see them next Monday. I want to see this on there. I want to see this time blocked out. And then the other thing I want to ask is, well, where's your personal time? Because everything else in between we'll prioritize. But I don't want Jenny to not have, if Jenny's like, I'm going to go to the gym. You know, she said, I'm going to be going to the gym. That's a personal thing. If that's not on there, it won't happen because a fire will happen, and what'll get missed? The gym. It happens to me all the time, right? But if I had the gym outside of this time, it would happen. Potentially. I don't know, I have a 9-month-old. So, yeah. Does that feel good to everybody?
Yes.
Because I'll tell you guys, the other way, the way I was going to teach this,
Oh my
it
God.
feels like a prison. So, but seriously, that personal time, I'm going to look at your guys' calendars next week, and that's what I want to see, because I know if you etch these out and that out, and you honor it. And what I mean by honoring is, you don't look at Facebook during lead gen, right? You don't look at emails. Any email that pops in during this 2.5 hour period, it can wait. It totally can. Like, my sister called me 3 times. I just happen to know my sister just does that. So that's why I said ignore it, right? Normally, if my other sister called me 3 times, I'd say, let's stop this right now. But, you know, you have to have certain triggers where you know it's appropriate. My wife used to always double call me, and I asked her, please don't do that unless there's an emergency, because I'll walk out of whatever I'm doing, right? So just know, like, when it really is appropriate to say, not today, right? And it shouldn't be very often, because without that, you don't get this. You don't have to write those. There's no emails to write. And I guess there's no houses to show either, right? So that's what I've got on time management, guys. I hope